Wow. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. This is the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. It is great to be here. It is the 1st of January, the 1st of the year, the first episode of this amazing, brand new 2024 year. I just didn't like 2023. I didn't like saying it. Saying 2023 just never... I never really gelled with me. 2024, that sounds smooth. It sounds cool. It's going to be amazing. Whatever this year throws at us, we are going to have a killer year. It's going to be an amazing, amazing year. And I am so excited to see what we have in store coming for us. The ups, the downs, the ins, the outs, the battles, and everything else we have. It's going to be great. Had a good night last night. We had a pretty long show last night where we literally talked about nothing. It was basically just babbling and carrying on and waiting until the ball fell. Then the ball fell late, and it was really weird. And then we left. But hey, we are here. We've got some good. We've got some new subscribers coming in. I do want to let you guys know. We do now have the ability for memberships and for supers. If you're so inclined to pay us money, if you are so inclined to give us money to continue this venture that we're doing here, you have that ability. When we first had the breakup back in August, everybody was saying, how can we give you money? How can we give you money? And we had to hit all of these specific areas. And now nobody says it anymore, but we've hit it. Yay! I'm going to actually show you here just to let you see. It's amazing. It's really, really kind of a cool thing. Doesn't bother me one way or another. One way or another does not. I do not care about this in the least, but it's kind of cool. Here's the page. This is our Political Spotlight page as you would see it. If you go to it on a computer or on your phone, you'll see here, here's our home. This is what it looks like when you go to the home. You see, hey, look, we've got this live going right now. Live, it's episode 108, episode 108. Which is New Beginnings Meet the New Boss, same as the old boss. We'll talk about that here in a bit. But as you're on here and you're clicking through and you're looking at our videos and everything, you see something right here that has never been here before. And it says join. Now, obviously, you can hit subscribe. And if you hit subscribe, it will subscribe you to the channel, and you can do that for free. And we highly recommend you going to YouTube and you hitting that and doing that. But if you go and you hit join, it says the Political Spotlight. Join this channel. Get access to membership perks. Wow. The first level at $2.99 a month is the Lighthouse Keeper. The Lighthouse Keeper. And you'll get a neat little badge here next to your name. Loyalty badge next to your name in the comments and in the live chats to show people that you're one of us. You'll also get member shout-outs. We'll start doing member shout-outs maybe at the beginning or the end of each episode. Basically kind of like we do now, but you'll be getting something for your money. Priority replies to comments by members at $6.99 a month. You would be the Spotlighter group. That gets you the same thing in level 1. It also gets you members only live chats. Not really sure what that is, but we'll try to figure that out as we go along. And we're going to be adding to the perks as we go along. We maybe need to do some merchandise and things like that. We might tie into this. And then we have something that's just absolutely obscene and insane. But all of these you can get for under $20, right at $20 a month. The first one's $2.99. The middle tier is $6.99. And then if you want to be the granddaddy of them all, you can be a member of the Duck Club. That's right. The Duck Club gets you everything from level 1, everything from level 2, and it also gets you a connect on all social media platforms of your choice and access to email/text groups if you are so inclined or so willing to do such a thing. And if we get members at the Duck Club level, the $19.99 level, we will promise you that you will not be befriending sexual predators, violent criminals. It will give you a pass to make sure that you are protected from the crazies of the world. So, hey, I don't know how we're going to do that because we have a hard time blocking ourselves off from those people, but it is what it is. So we'll figure all of that out. That's for Brandon. That's Brandon's area. We'll figure that out when we get back with Brandon and talk with him here soon. So we'll figure out how to do that. Let me come here to the comments and see what's going on here. Skylar Miller, heard Hamilton Fire has a new boss. I don't know. I don't know who that new boss is in Hamilton Township Volunteer Fire Department, but I do know that the old boss is out. Of course, we broke that news last night. Hamilton Township Volunteer Fire Department Fire Chief Doug Firestone is out. He and his wife were both trespassed from Hamilton Township Volunteer Fire Department properties. A state police investigation has been underway, and now that the holidays are behind us, I will be digging more into this and be getting more information. I know I've got some people that are wanting to know what's going on here, but because of when this information came out, I was unable to really get much more until now. When everybody gets back to work tomorrow, I will be able to get back to work. Here's the thumbnail for tonight's episode 108, New Beginnings, Meet the New Boss, same as the old boss. We've got a lot going on, a lot of changes that went into effect today all over, and we have a lot of stuff that's the same. A lot of changes. The more things change, the more things stay the same. It is what it is there. So it's just how we interact with all of that. Assistant Chief Richards is acting chief from what I've been told. That's what I thought. That's what I thought there. Okay, let's see here. No, the inauguration for our officials basically was weeks ago. The Republicans got sworn in on Saturday, some Saturday in December, and the Democrats were sworn in on the 11th of December. So they get kind of sworn in on their own, out of the view of the public eye, weeks before they actually take office. That being said, they hit the ground running today. I know that Muncie City Council has a lot of changes in it. I know Anderson has a lot of changes going on. The city of Winchester has one change in its council. John Bruchin will be taking over for Tom Sells. So the council gets a little worse, in my opinion, than it was. At least Sells had some
balls. The word
like,
you're looking for is
yeah,
balls.
I don't know though. I don't know that that's exactly with Sells. I don't know that I would say that exactly, because he lacked them a lot of times too. Tom is an old hippie. He's an old hippie, and so he's kind of got some of the classic liberalism in him. Not liberalism in the same term that people think of the new aged, whacked out, left leaning liberal people. I'm talking about freedoms and wanting to give everybody their space, and understanding that everybody has a right to speak, and yada yada yada. He understood that deep down, although he didn't a lot of times enact things through that, because he didn't have the guts to do what he needed to do. In a lot of times, his absence on the Winchester City Council will be felt, because they got one more person bad. I guess Lisa Friend is back and apparently going to be working on the council now. Who knew all it took was getting a lawsuit and a whole bunch of hubbub and chaos and craziness in order to get her butt back and do the work. I don't know how much work she'll be doing, but it is what it is. Let's see here. The distinguished John Bruchin. The distinguished John Bruchin. We found out over the last couple days that he apparently talks about himself in the in the third person. And when he does so, he refers to himself as the distinguished John. It would be like me saying the distinguished Kristopher Bilbrey is now speaking into a microphone. That alone makes me really question his sanity. Why anybody would do that, I have no idea. He went on a post and was doing some hate talking, which I do not begrudge him his hate talking if he wanted to be doing it. Without getting into any of that, he just was saying some really rather strange things, like it's a good thing that Winchester elected the distinguished John Bruchin. And Winchester was going to be better off because it had the distinguished John Bruchin. And I'm like, what yeah Yoko says no, it's a fan account, although the fan account is John Bruchin for Winchester City Council at large at gmail.com. And it's registered to John Bruchin at John Bruchin Street in John Bruchin House. It's just really, really strange. Very, very strange. I don't know that she's moving back. I don't know what's going on with Lisa Friend. All I know is since October, she's been in all the meetings. She was in the meeting in November. She was in the meeting in December. And I will assume, I don't know. We'll have to decide if we're going to find out if she will be in the meeting in January or not. I don't know when. I don't know when the Winchester City Council meeting is. Catherine, do you know when the first meeting in Anderson is? Do you know when the city council meeting in Anderson is, the first one of the year? The first one of this month? I know Muncie's is a week from tonight. Muncie's first meeting is January 8th. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're going to start talking about straight off the bat. So in Muncie, we have a Mayor Dan Ridenour, the mayor of Muncie. He was reelected, so he's now today starting his first day of the first month of his 5th year, his second term. He's now into his second term, and I don't have a whole lot of hope. For how he plans to run this term based off what he did the last 4 years. I think that he did not live up to his 2019 promises. He did not live up to the campaign stumping that he did for nearly 2 years. And he was very bad for the city of Muncie. But he's new. Give him a chance. It's 2:18 a.m. your time, Lenny. You're allowed to chat now. Ladies and gentlemen, Lenny is allowed to chat officially. You're allowed to chat. Besides the mayor, the Winchester city clerk, she's back for her second term. Who knew? Too bad she's not the clerk in Florida, or she would have been resigning last night. You know, it is what it is. Lenny, the meeting you really want to see will be the city of Anderson. I need to find out when that one is. They have quite a turnover in there. No. Yeah. Rebecca Crooms being off the Anderson City Council is going to be quite a loss. I will assume that she will be there in the audience. But you know, we'll have to see what happens. Listen, she's more dangerous to them now than she was on the council, because everybody knows the most important political seat in American government, be it national, state, or local, is that of the citizen's seat. The citizen is the most important position in local government. Remember that scrawled writing on that page yesterday that said, what did it say? Hey, I got a new phone, by the way, today. We the broken phone where the back came off is no more, and we've got a new phone, and it's I about need 4 hands to hold it. It's like holding a computer in my tiny little childlike girl hands. But it is what it is, so we're gonna do our best with it. If I can get to my photographs here. Oh, yes.
Is this one pink?
No, it's hunter green.
Oh.
The phone matches the color of the case there, and it is a hunter green color. I wish that it was rose gold. I asked them if they had a rose gold.
Oh.
But
poor Bilbrey.
Yeah, you can barely see there. I mean, the back of it's broke, but the sides are rose gold, and that was a sexy phone. This phone right here, the secrets that this phone knows, the plotting and the craziness that this phone was part of. This needs to go in a museum somewhere. It's truly amazing. But what can I do? I am just one person, said 7 billion people. Yes, it is distinguished. Rose gold is very distinguished. I agree. Oh man. I'm looking at the new council members in Anderson, and woo-wee. Who let Dwayne Richmond over? I didn't know Dwayne Richmond started running in Anderson. I thought we only had the pleasure of him running over here. Let's see here.
Quit playing with your new toy and get to work.
I'm looking at these amazing, amazing messages here. I was seeing. I was looking at Brando's messages in there. The last couple of messages were amazing. Brandon's hard at work trying to figure out how we're going to keep up with those promises of the tiers that I told you guys. We'll let you know about that. Let's see here. The new council members in Anderson, none of them have experience. So let's talk about that. That can be a good thing and a bad thing. Not having experience would tend to make you think that they're not people that are part of the good old boy network. You know, they're new people. At the same time, it can mean that they are just completely unaware of what it takes to do the job, and it can put them in a bad position. I don't always give inexperienced people trouble because they can quickly learn how to run a meeting. You can quickly learn. There's classes that they offer and things like that. So they can quickly learn what they need to do. What's going to matter is how they interact with the citizens, how they allow the citizens to interact at the meetings, what they're willing to do. If citizens have questions or have comments, are they willing to listen? Are they willing to communicate? Will they be responsive to citizens? So I've talked about this. I've talked about this, and don't you think they should have been in the meetings before they received the baton? This is a very touchy spot. So the question is, should newly elected anybody's, specifically legislative body, fiscal body, representative type officials, so should city council, town government, county council, representative type elected officials, should they have taken part in coming to the meetings prior to taking office. There's two trains of thought here. I am somebody who has for a very long time said, when candidates are running for office, I like to see that they come to meetings. I like to say, look in the crowd and find out how many of the candidates are coming to meetings, how many are attending the meetings, how many meetings they're attending, and are they listening? Are they paying attention? Are they asking questions? Are they engaged with the current business? Because when you start, when the city council meeting in Muncie starts next Monday, they're going to hit the ground rolling with stuff. There's not a learning curve, really. Everyone's like, they're new, let them learn, let them learn. There's not a learning curve. When the new council members start in Anderson, they're going to be thrown into it, and they're going to be dealing with work that's already been going on. So would it be helpful for them to have paid attention? I can ask Audie Barber what's been going on in the city of Muncie for the last 6 months, for the last year, for the last 4 years, and he can rattle it off like da-da-da-da-da-da-da, because he's been at every council meeting. He could sit down at the council table Monday and not miss a beat. Then I started talking to people, and I had one specific person that I count as a person that gives me advice that I value greatly. And this person said, I would rather the candidate be out talking to the citizens. You don't often find citizens at the public meetings. You don't often find the city, the public, the heart of the community on a Monday evening at a council meeting. You find the mayor's will, you find what the mayor's dream is, what he's pushing. And so I kind of took a little different look at that. Do you have to attend every council meeting to get elected? No, that's obviously not a requirement. There's nothing that deems that you have to do that. I do think that it's very important for new council people to have an understanding of what's been going on. I will always say that. Hello there, Councilor Crooms. Welcome. Welcome. We were just talking about you, kind of. Welcome. Stumblefoot. That's almost better than attending the council meetings, attending the neighborhood meetings, attending the community gatherings, getting to know the pulse of the people they're representing. For the councilmen and the councilwomen that are district councilors, you should know everything going on in your district. You should have your pulse. You should have your hand on the pulse of that district. For an at-large council member, you should have an understanding of what's going on citywide. I'm worried about Dale Basham in the city of Muncie. Dale Basham, he is one of 3 Republicans. He is one of the 3 at-large members. We have 2 at-large members that are Republicans, and we have 1 district councilor that's a Republican. Everybody else is Democrat. And Dale Basham, when running early on, in one of his only public speaks that I really heard, and you know that he was very vocal in, he said that he wanted to be elected because he wanted to be a voice for answer. He wanted to be a voice for the mayor, he said. Elect me, Dale Basham. I want to be a voice and a vote for the mayor's agenda. And I like crashed the car off the roadway. And we crashed. Because I was like, no, that's no good. I do not want someone coming in to be a voice and a vote for the administration. I want Dale Basham to represent all of Muncie's citizens. He's an at-large council member. He should be a voice and a vote for the citizens of Muncie. Now, if the citizens of Muncie's what's best for them, if that aligns with what the mayor's doing, then by all means, right on in. You know, we lost Aaron Clark on the council in Muncie. We lost Councilman Aaron Clark. Councilman Aaron Clark spent 4 years on the council. We have a couple people that left the council last night. Jeff Robinson left the council last night. Was his last night as a councilor. Brad Marshall left the council last night, but he was only temporary. Roger Overby left the council last night. Troy Ingram left the council last night. And Aaron Clark left the council last night. Now, out of everybody that I mentioned, Brad Marshall was a caucus fill-in for Isaac Miller, who was a caucus fill-in for Brad Polk. Brad Marshall only spent like maybe 4 months on the council. 4 or 5 months. Maybe 6 at the most. In his 6 months, he did more than Aaron Clark did in 4 years. Listen to that. A caucused fill-in, Brad Marshall, did more in 6 months on the council than Aaron Clark did in 4 years. Aaron Clark, in 4 years, pushed for the ill-timed chicken ordinance, and he then spent the remainder of his time sucking up to the mayor, doing whatever the mayor wanted, whatever the mayor needed, and trying to get an $18 million payday for his cousin. That's what he spent his time doing. He spent his time trying to get an $18 million payday for his cousin. And I was happy that Aaron Clark was leaving. I was happy. Now, that being said, that happiness quickly faded when I realized that Dale Basham is who's replacing Aaron Clark. Aaron Clark's cousin is Greg Martz, the owner of GM Development. Aaron Clark was a Ridenauer fanboy. He was a Danatic of the highest order. A male cheerleader for Dan Ridenauer. But, ladies and gentlemen, be aware that we've traded the cheerleader for like the instructor of the biggest cheer team going. It's like Aaron Clark tagged out and a Mondo superfan tagged in. So, like, where Aaron Clark was just meek, mild little Aaron Clark, like, we got in Dale Basham 2 Aarons. And I don't know how that's going to play. Now, he's part of very good possibility. It's a very good possibility, Kate. Now, it doesn't really matter because he's part of the Republican team, and the Republican team is on the losing side. Yes. Admiral Eric, that is exactly true. That is exactly true. Whoopsie. I want to offer very important caution to the new members of the Muncie City Council. I am aware that a couple weeks ago, the council, while they were council-elect, all met in a quote-unquote caucus. All of the Democrats caucused at either Nora's home or Sarah Gullion's home, one or the other. And while that was legal a couple weeks ago, I want to caution Harold Mason. I want to caution Jerry Dishman. And I want to caution Sarah Gullion. I want to caution Brandon Garrett. And I want to caution William McIntosh. And I'm warning Nora Powell that if you guys continue now that today is January 1st, 2024, if you continue meeting in a quorum, I am going to bust your asses out. So just be cautious. I was aware that the meeting was going on, their last couple meetings. I was aware it was going on as the meeting was going on. I was being told what was happening. Nora can take that for what she wants, whatever she wants that to mean. So I just want to caution them on that. I'm hearing that they are not going to have a Republican be part of a chair any standing committees, which, listen, this council would be good if they modeled themselves after the last council. If they modeled themselves after the last council, they would be good. But I don't think they're going to do that. And I think it's going to be a bunch of posturing and it's going to be a whole bunch of crazy stuff. So I told everybody that I would be sending correspondence after the new year to Dale Basham, Rose Selvey, William McIntosh, Jeff Green, Nora Powell, Brandon Garrett, Sarah Gullion, Jerry Dishman, and Harold Mason. Those are the 9 council members. I will be sending them correspondence in the next coming couple of days, formally introducing myself, giving them my phone number, my email, social media accounts, and asking them for their email accounts that they plan to do business with, their social media accounts that they plan to do public business with, and their phone numbers. And the ones that comply, well, they will comply and it'll be what it'll be. And the ones that don't, we will shame. We will shame. I fully believe that pretty much everybody will comply. Save for Nora and maybe Jeff Green. I don't know. And they are 2 different sides. One's a Republican, one's a Democrat, so I don't know. But I want to be very clear to this council that we have to have a conversation. We have to be able to have a dialogue that is open, a line of direct dialogue that is open. If we're going to have any kind of a good 4 years, because as Stumblefoot said, and most of you know, Dan will just spend this next year, he'll spend the next 4 years going around the council at every turn. He has been doing that. I wouldn't say since he's been elected. I would say it really kicked off. It really kicked off when the council voted down the solar. When the council voted down the solar, Dan said, screw it. I'm not going back. And it was right after that they had a big blow up about a bond issue that at first it was a no vote, then it was tabled, and then it was a yes vote. So Ridenour got what he wanted. However, Robinson and the council doing what they should have been doing made Dan look like a fool. And so Dan said, I'm not going to any more council meetings. And to my knowledge, Dan has not been back to a council meeting. It will be interesting to see if he will be at this coming Monday's council meeting or not. I could quite possibly see him telling them that he will be watching from his office. And I just don't understand why he thinks that is sufficient. So we need to watch these jokers. We need to be watching what's going on with the Board of Works. The Board of Works will be meeting this Wednesday. I think Audie and I are going to try to go to that. I've got some questions. He's got some questions. They're independent of each other. It'll be interesting to see what results from Wednesday's council meeting. The Muncie Redevelopment Commission will be meeting at the end of this month, toward the end of this month. That's a meeting that I plan to hit and see kind of what's going on. And that's that with the city of Muncie. Now, from there, like I said, who do we fight? Who do we fight? IDAC. Who's that? Who is that?
The solar.
Oh, who do we fight? Okay, I get it. Well, honestly, it's Ridenour that's the one that's pushing it forward. So I think it's a done deal. I don't think there's anything we can do to fight it. That's the problem. I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to scrutinize, and we're going to have to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing with the setbacks and everything, because I have it from good authority that they are thinking that for whatever reason, in the heart of the city of Muncie, which is in the heart of Delaware County, that the county ordinance does not apply to the city of Muncie. What? Why would that be? So, that's I don't know. It's crazy. I have a feeling it's not all Dan thinking all this up. He's just a puppet. That's probably a pretty good statement. That's probably a good statement. Yeah, Kate and Julie both brought up the firehouses. Yeah, what's going on with those? Rose Selvey, you you were the chairman of that committee. I would say come next week, you will not be the chairman of that committee any longer. I would say that you'll be done being the chair of that committee, so it doesn't matter at that point. But yeah, why have we not heard anything more about this? Now, I know we've been off for break and everything, but it's get back to work time. It's go time, folks. So it's interesting to see if we're going to hear about the firehouses, what we're going to hear about the firehouses. It'll be interesting to see what Dan says he's just going to pay through edit, pay through ARP. Of course, there's a big story in the newspaper, I think today or yesterday, about the new grant money from the state that Dan was talking about in the redevelopment commission meeting the other day. Was it that? Or yeah, it was the redevelopment commission meeting. So Dan is looking at the future and thinking, oh, I'm going to have all this money to play with. I'm going to have all this money to burn. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Edit funds only go so far. Edit funds only go so far. So, we're going to have our hands full in the cities, man. We're going to have our hands full with Anderson. I'm going to start paying attention a bit more to Anderson. I didn't feel like I needed to as much when Rebecca was there. And I know that Rebecca is still going to be doing her job and reporting for the people and keeping the council in line. I know that she will, she'll be there. But now that she's no longer on the council, I need to I'll start paying attention on what's going on over there a little bit more and paying attention to that and bringing that out. We'll be looking at that. We'll also be looking at Muncie. But it's not just the city governments and what's going on there. That's the only thing, folks. On top of that, we have a presidential election. On top of the presidential election, we have United States congressional candidates running. We have senator candidates running. We have state of Indiana and other states have officials running. Some of the governors are up. Indiana is one where our governor is up. We have state representatives, of course, that will be campaigning. And we have state senators that will be state senators. Are the state senators up? I don't know if they are or not. I don't know. I'll have to look.
Some might be, but I don't think any in East Central
Indiana in this area. That's probably true. I was going to say I didn't think I had heard any talking. And then of course the county candidates. So we're going to have our hands full there, and that stuff all starts next week, folks. It starts next week. Janet says my friend Rachel Lee Landers was just sworn in city council member at large. She will serve Madison County well. So is she? Is that on the city of Anderson that you're saying that, or is she in the council, the county council? Is she going to be on this? Is she the city council, or did she fill a vacancy on the county council? Yes. Yeah, yeah, city. Okay. Um, so okay, that's good to know. Um, while we have Janet here, and while Janet is there, I want to remind everybody that we have. My phone is blowing up. Who is that? We have an event coming up on Wednesday, January 3rd, 2024. That's not tomorrow, but it's the next day at 6:30 at the Elks Country Club. John Chirac will be speaking about land grabs for solar and more. And if you're interested in hearing what he's got to say, you need to come out. It should be a very interesting it should be a very interesting time. That will be a great presentation. Janet, do you know, I should message you this privately, and if you don't want to say anything on here, that's fine. Do you know if that will if that presentation, will it be live streamed? Do you know, will anybody be live streaming it? Will it be live streamed? Do you know, is it something that can be live streamed? Or do you not know? Would he prefer it not to be? I don't know what the rules are with that, or what you guys think about that, what he thinks about that. I don't know if you know. Maybe you don't know, and if you don't, that's fine. Um, I don't know of anyone that will be live streaming it. I asked him, and he didn't answer me. Okay. Well, maybe if you can ask him this, maybe ask him if he minds if anybody live streams it. Maybe they don't have anybody to, but ask him if he would be, because if he would be okay with it, I would have no problem recording it and live streaming it and putting it out there, and then that way we could share it and show it. I don't want to do anything to step on his toes or to hurt anybody there. I don't want to do anything that I don't want to step on anyone's toes. Some people say, no, we'd rather people come out to it. And I understand that. I always I hate that, because a lot of people work and do stuff they can't attend. But if it's live streamed or if it's recorded, they can always go back and watch it at their convenience. So that's something that is big. City of Anderson next meeting is next Thursday, January 11th at 6:30 p.m. Not sure if they'll be changing the time with the new council members. That's that. Yeah. Well, we've also my new live streaming mics should be here. There was on back order. They should be here Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed for those new microphones, because they're going to be fantastic. And I've recently heard someone that might be having a fire sale, and I might be picking up some cameras. So I don't know. We'll see what goes on, but I will let everybody know how that goes. So hey, you got to make the best of a bad time, and I know how to do that like no other. Lights. In the channel membership, there should be a Get Lenny to Muncie tier. I will work on that, Lenny. I will work on that. We might need a little bit more than $19.99, but I will work on that. I will work on that for you. And I think we would do much better in person. I think any of the squabbles we've ever had has been a language barrier. I think the language barrier between our two lands has been kind of the issue with any kind of squabbles we've ever had. I think we would be much better in person. Good. I'd contribute, Eric says. That's funny. Let me see here. What is that? Yeah, that's a good. Someone just sent me a message and said that I ought to I should ask Rebecca to come on and do an interview with me sometime. I would love that. I don't know if Rebecca is still here, but if Rebecca is here, I would love to have you on anytime. We can have you on this week. We can have you on if you're busy. Next week's better. You tell me the time, and I would love to have you on. And if Rebecca's not here, and I'm talking out into the void, and everyone's like, "What? Who? What? Who? What?" I will message her as soon as I get off this live, and I will tell her the same thing because she's not on the council anymore. She's able to kind of spill her guts and let all the truth come. Not like she wouldn't have done that in the past. She absolutely would have done that in the past. She was just extremely busy fighting for her people, meaning the people of Anderson, before anybody gets crazy. The people of Anderson. So, yeah, that was good. Too bad Brain caved when he initiated unity. Yeah, Braun. Yeah, I don't understand. Rebecca, I was answering a text. Did you ask me a question? Yes, I did, Counselor Crooms. I was just saying somebody sent me a text message and said that now that you might be, I'm sure you're going to be just as busy, but now that you might be just a smidge more free, that it would be a good thing to have you on as a guest. And I was saying, yes, I would love that. I would love to have you on as a guest. I would love to talk about your service, why you got involved, why you're still passionate. I know that you're no longer a council person, but I know you're still going to fight and keep the dream alive. I would love to have you on and talk about anything and everything that you would want to talk about. I would love to have you on. So any time that would work for you, I would be willing to do whatever and work around your schedule, do whatever we need to do, and get you on, because that would be a fantastic time. I think that you would have a lot of great insight for people, and I would thoroughly enjoy it. I have been a fan of yours for a very long time. So I would love to have you on as a guest. That would be fantastic. we'll give her a chance to dissect that and respond or not. But while she's doing that, I also want to remind folks that, like, again, we're talking about the elections and moving away from the city just for a little bit. While there's a lot going on, you have always extended that invitation. Thank you. I've also been a fan of yours. Yes, that's great. Well, good. I love that. I would, yeah, we'll have to make that happen. I would love to have you on, and anytime you've got some time, I'm here 5 nights a week. We start at 9 o'clock, but I would start earlier if I need to, or we could be here some other night, Friday or Saturday, if that works better for you. Whatever works for you, I will fit around your schedule and we will make sure it works. So I would definitely love to make that happen. Absolutely. But what I was talking about a moment ago was I know that the presidential election is going to be big. I know that the other federal elections are going to be important. I know the state elections are going to be important. And we need to follow and be involved and talk about all of those things. We have serious elections here on the home front, either in Newcastle, in Randolph County, Henry County, meaning in Randolph County, in Delaware County, in Madison County, where we have people that are up for reelection, commissioners and county council people, that we need good candidates to run for office. We need good candidates that are going to run for commissioner and send the commissioners packing in Madison County. We need good candidates that are going to send the commissioners packing here in Delaware County and in Randolph County. We absolutely need that. Catherine is wanting us to talk about the precinct committee people, and we've spent a little bit of time doing that, but she is very right. The precinct committee people are very important. They are very important. And I want to show you here. Give me a second. I want to show you why this matters. Give me just 1 second here. Let me pull up this. Let me pull this up and I'll show you. Close. Okay. Delaware County Commissioners. Okay. This is... This will be good enough. Okay. Okay. I'll show you here like this. This is Delaware County. Okay. This is Delaware County on drugs. No. Okay, so this is Delaware County right here that we're looking at. Every one of these numbers that you see, 57, 77, 61, 67, 66, 68, 91, 90, 78, 56, 69, 93, 70, 92, 60, 65, 64, 63, 75, 72, 73, 59, 51, 52, 49. Every one of these numbers that you see in the county and wrapping down here into the city, everyone you see in Yorktown and in Selma and in Albany and in Eaton and over here in Gaston, every one of these numbers is a voting precinct. So 57, basically all of Harrison Township is a voting precinct. Anybody that lives within this box votes at the precinct in Gaston. Okay? Anybody that lives down here in Monroe Township, all right, they vote either in 73 or they vote in 59. Okay? Every one of those precincts has a Republican precinct committee person and a Democrat precinct committee person. That position, the precinct committee person for the Republicans and the precinct committee person for the Democrats, that position is probably one of the most important and non-important, one of the most glamorous and one of the most boring jobs all at the same time. You don't get paid. It's not a paid position. You don't do very much except for when you do. Yeah, we do the same thing over here, Lenny. We learn from the best. Yeah, we do the same thing. But each one of these precincts should have a person who lives within that precinct. For example, I'm going to bring you down here and show you a precinct in Muncie. Okay. Precinct 70. Precinct 70 is everybody that lives in this squared off area. Okay. This is part of Halteman Village. Okay. No, it's not. Riggin. No, sorry. This is Halteman Village over in here. That's like north of Halteman Village. So let's look at 2. 2 is like part of the north side. 47, 45 is Halteman Village. Every person that lives in here votes in this precinct. The precinct committee person for the Republicans for District 2, for Precinct 2, should live in Precinct 2. But a lot of times what happens is nobody in that precinct will run. So then what happens is when nobody runs for that position and the seat is left blank, the party chairperson then gets to appoint somebody to that precinct. Sometimes they will appoint somebody from the district. Sometimes they'll appoint their friend that lives down here in 87. Or sometimes they'll appoint somebody who lives down here in 41. If nobody runs in District 2 for precinct committee person on the Republican side, the Republican chair will fill that seat. The Democrats do the same thing. And they hold these positions because these precinct committee people They do a lot with the election. They do a lot with getting the vote out and getting people to turn in absentee ballots or not turn in absentee ballots. And they also vote for both the chairman of the party, so it's how the chairs keep the power, and they vote for any elected official who vacates their office for whatever reason. Say they are convicted, or say, unfortunately, someone dies, if somebody moves away, if somebody resigns for whatever reason, the precinct committee people that make up that area of where it is. So, for example, if it's District 3 City Council that leaves, it's the precincts that make up District 3. So it's like the 4 or 5 precincts that make up District 3. If it's at large in Muncie, it all of the precinct committee people Muncie wide. If it's Delaware County Commissioner, everybody in the whole, all of the precinct committee people from the entire county vote. So this is a very, very important job, folks. People don't believe that. They don't think that it's important. They feel like they feel like it, it's not glamorous, and they're right. It's not. In a lot of ways, it's not. They do, it can be as big or as little as you want to make it. My grandmother used to be the precinct committee person of her district, of her precinct, and she knew everybody in her area. She knew when her people were sick. She knew when they had babies, and she would communicate with them. When there were problems in her area, she would get that information, and as a precinct committee person, she would go talk to the council people. It can be a really entailed position, and that's how you can help get people out to vote, folks. That's one way that we can help get people interested and help get people. You can register people, and you can get people excited about being in the process. We started printing here all of a sudden. I don't know what we're printing. I don't know how that started happening. That's crazy. Anyways, so it's very, very important. The other thing is, yes, it's okay if no one runs and you want to ask your chairman to be appointed, unless you're somebody tight with the chairman, more than likely you won't be appointed. It's important to run for these seats. Like the doctor is saying, it is important to have people who live in these areas sign up to run. You don't have to go all out and get signs. You can walk around your neighborhood. Oftentimes, very few and far between people vote for these positions. This is a very, very important thing that is oftentimes overlooked. And so I'm just saying, we're going to hit upon this many, many, many times, because we need people to start running for these positions so we can take back the power from the party chairs. Second. Someone just sent a message here. Hold on. So yeah, that is that's why. And look, Catherine, it's not even him. It's all chairs, all political chairs everywhere. The reason they have the power that they have is because they hold the power of who the precinct committee people are. Breaking news, hot off the press, essential triangle tool method. Cut a 2-inch strip from both dark and blue and red, and number of units you can get from each strip set will vary based on the length of your strips. So no number of strips to cut is given. Place a dark blue and red strip right side together. Here I'm stacking up 2 pairs of strips, both in the same orientation, and cutting through 4 layers. Each set of 4 triangles will give me 1 complete hourglass unit. Hot off the presses. I think that was somebody printed a pattern for some kind of a quilt. PCs also hold the power to allow the chair to appoint candidates to the ballot vacancies. Listen, what Yoko just said there, that's very important. If the chair doesn't want the precinct committee people to vote for vacancies on the ballot, he or she can go to the precinct committee people and say, hey, give me the power to nominate the candidates to fill vacancies, and they can sign off on that. And then the party chair, the Republican Party chair or the Democrat Party chair, can just willy-nilly fill whoever he wants or she wants in positions where no one filed to run. For example, for the 2024 election, the filing period starts Wednesday, January 10th. The deadline is noon on Friday, February 9th. If nobody signs up to run in that period for county council, and there's blanks on the county council at large seats, the Republican Party chair or the Democrat Party chair, or both of them, can appoint people to hold those seats to run in the November election. So it's a way of getting people around the primary. If somebody wants to run for office, but they don't want to run in the primary, they just won't file, and then they will have the chair appoint them after the primary. That's a bullshit thing to do. We don't like that manner. People should file and run in the election. But if that doesn't happen and there's some kind of a hole there, at the very least, the precinct committee people should vote to fill it. That's just my opinion. You shouldn't ever give that power to one person. D.W. Williams says, I live a quarter mile from GOP chairman Ed Carroll, and for the last 4 years, he has been doing renovations on his house and never got a building permit, and I'm running for precinct 51 committeeman. That is good. That's definitely good. That is a very important thing that people need to do. They need to run for precinct committee people. And it's important. I can't say anything more about it other than how important it is. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us for this show. I know it's still kind of haphazard. It's not, we don't have a whole lot coming. We're coming off break. I'm getting ready to get my emails ready to send out to all of the newly elected people who are now just taking office today as the first day, their first day in. So I will let you guys know how that goes. I'll let you know when they respond. If they respond, I'll let you know who responds, who doesn't. And we will keep you going and keep you posted as more comes in. There is a meeting this Wednesday, a Board of Works meeting. We're going to go to that. I think Audie's going to go to it. I've got some questions. He's got some questions. We'll have obviously some video to show you from that. And then there's a couple of other things that are going to be coming up here soon. The filing period opens on Wednesday the 10th. You can also register to vote if you haven't registered. Registration is open now. www.indianavoters.com. Again, that's www.indianavoters.com. So do that. If I choose to run for PC, both parties would laugh. Run, Charlize. Do it. I don't care. Run. Do it. Also, folks, let me tell you again, I hate kind of whoring ourselves out, but I just want to make sure that everyone knows you can now send us super monies without being a member. You can do it just by going to the page. You can also join memberships. The membership tiers are they're very low. The tiers, ladies and gentlemen, are $2.99 for the bottom tier. The Lighthouse Keeper, the middle of the road, is $6.99. That's the Spotlighter. And then to be the member of the Duck Club, that's $19.99 a month. And we're also going to get a Bring Lenny to Muncie tier. That might be like the $500 club. So I want to thank you all for your help. Everybody, when I mean help, I mean being here, spreading the word, doing what you do. I appreciate it. I want to thank you all for watching, spreading the word, and we will be back here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern for some more political commentary. Thank you all very much. And as always, please do your part. Hit the like button, hit the join now, hit the bell, comment, share the show with everyone you know. And thanks to Kate for pushing the buttons down in the bottom. And we will see you all tomorrow at 9 p.m. Take care. Good night. God bless. Goodbye. We'll get a Brandon level 2 Stumblefoot.